Okay, my name is Shadrack Isanga from Edukea Company. For today, we proceed with the subject which is Geograph, and we proceed to the topic which is solar system, but to the subtopic which is called Earth's movements. So for today, we discuss about Earth's movements. So first of all, we have to understand that what is Earth's movement. So when we talk about Earth's movements, it means that the motion of the Earth around the Sun, or is the motion of the Earth around the Sun and on its axis. So this we can discuss more by considering that the Earth are in motion all the time. The Earth tends to move from one point to another. The Earth are rotating. The Earth are revolving around the Sun. So all that motions in general we call what Earth is what movements. As we know that the Earth can rotate or can revolve around the Sun. Also can rotate on its axis. So that's both. That is called as what Earth's movements. And also we say that and the Earth are in motion all the time. So why so? The Earth are in motion, but why don't we feel that motion, or why don't we understand that the Earth are in motion? The reason is the Earth in motion all the time because we are moving with it. So that's why we don't feel that motion that the Earth are moving moving or are rotating or are revolving around around the Sun. Also, let's consider about the types of the Earth's movement. There are two. There are two types of the Earth's movements. We talk about the rotation, and the second talk about revolution. So when we talk about rotation, it means what? Rotation of the Earth is a spinning of the Earth on its axis. Remember that I told you that Earth's movement in general, we say that the movement of the Earth around the Sun and the movement on its axis. So we understand that rotation is that on its axis, and the revolution, the movement of the Earth around the Sun. So don't confuse about that. So rotation of the Earth is spinning. When we talk about spinning, is like rotation. Is like moving around something or moving on its axis. We move on the same orbit, or we move on the same way. That is talk about spinning. So the Earth rotation is the spinning of the Earth on its axis. So let's understand about axis. So what is axis? Axis, this is the imaginary line whereby the Earth use it to rotate. The imaginary lines whereby the Earth use it to rotate. It means that this axis is at the middle of the Earth. So the Earth is moving by using that called as axis. So the Earth to move on its axis in general we call as rotation. That is called as a rotation. An example, you can make a simple experiment. Take your mango or take your orange. Simple. Take orange, then take a simple stick, or maybe a certain stick or a pin, and pin at the middle of that orange. Then try to rotate that orange. So that motion of that orange around that, when you put that pins or stick, the motion of that orange is like what? The rotation of the Earth. That is all. And rotate from west to east. So you have to understand that the Earth, when are in motion, are moving from west to east. From west to what? To east, and not east to west. That is another kinds of rotation. And it is complete a single rotation after 24 hours. So we note that. So to get a day and night is a result of what? Rotation of the Earth. Because as we note here, a single rotation is what? 24 hours. So it means that to complete 24 hours, it means the Earth is already complete a single rotation. So that's why you say that rotation of the Earth is from west to east, but it being completed after 24 hours. So right here, look on the observation illustrates the Earth is what? Rotation. So when we talk about observation, it means that the things what is being seen to explain or to illustrate that rotation taking place. So what are the things is being observed by human being ears as they can illustrate or as they can explain the Earth is what? Rotation. An example of the things is when we travel in the fast moving vehicles. So when we are traveling in the fast moving vehicles like a car or like a motorcycle, maybe low planes. So things you can observe is that the trees or other objects, you will notice that are moving opposite to your direction. So that is the observation that is being seen as illustrate that the Earth are rotating. That is. So trees and other objects moving opposite, and not only trees but also other objects you observe that are moving opposite to your direction. So that is, you can come back with the result, come back with the explanation that the Earth are rotating, the Earth are moving from one are moving on its axis, and not from one point to another. No, are moving on its axis. Or another observation is sunrise in east horizon and evening be in what? In west. So as we note that the sun lies in what? In east, and come to set in what? In west. So this, it means that the sun to appear in east, and during evening we see it in west. Is not the point that the sun are moving. That is not true. The sun is not moving. The sun are not moving from one point to another. But you understand that the Earth are in motion. Earth is movement. The sun are not moving, are at the center all the time. But only Earth are moving. So to see the sun rising in east and in evening be at the west point, that illustrated that the Earth are rotating on its on its axis. Also, there is another point that you can observe as an observation to show that the Earth are rotating is at night most of the stars appeared to move across the sky from east to west. That is, you can make it a simple experiment. During night, stay outside there, and you have to note there is a bright sky. You will see the try to look above the sky for a certain time. You will see that the stars and other objects in the atmosphere are moving very faster from what are moving from east to west. So that's all the observation to illustrate or to explain that the Earth are rotating from one point to another point. So that is an observation, or that are the things which is being observed by scientists or by human ears, as it can help us to explain about the Earth is what? The Earth is rotation. Let's come to another part, which is evidence to prove the Earth rotates. So there is a contradiction to the students and others, that others they don't agree that the Earth are rotating. But in order to show that the Earth are rotating, you can see to that point there is day and night. Remember that we are about to evidence on how we can say that the Earth are rotating. So first point is day and night. As we know that we have a day and also we have what? Night time. So that is day and night as the result of what? Of rotation. So if the Earth are not rotating, there is no day and night. But because of the Earth are rotating, and we have to remember that I told you that the Earth rotates west to east, and after being rotated, after that rotation, we get 24 hours. So to get 24 hours, it means other hours is a day and other hours is what? Is a night. So to get night, day and night is a real or evidence that shows that the Earth are rotating. Okay, let's come to another evidence is different hours in different longitude. That is, different places having its own time, especially for those areas which are located at the different longitude. So the place where it is found maybe at 15 longitude is quite different. The time from that 15 longitude is different to the people who are at the longitude which are maybe 30 longitude. So that is all is about what? Earth rotation. So if the Earth is not rotating, on the Earth we are having different spaces we shall have the same time. So because the Earth are rotating, that's why there is different hours. Others maybe it was maybe 7 o'clock, but other place it is what? 8 o'clock. So it depends the difference of what? Of time. The last point, that is the evidence to prove the Earth rotates. Or what are the things which can prove that the Earth are rotating from one point to another? No, it's not from one point to another. Are rotating on its axis. Daily rising and the falling of the tides. Daily rising and the falling of what? Of tides. Here we have to understand what is tides. When we talk about tides, are those up and down of water in the ocean. Up and down of water in the ocean. That is tides. So the daily rising of the tides, falling of the tides, that is like this way. Rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. So that is situation. This we call as ocean water. Ocean water. So ocean water to rise and fall, to rise and fall. That's all we call as a tides. So the rising and falling of the water in the ocean, that can evidence that the Earth are rotating. Take an example. You put the water in the basin maybe, or in the bottle, but put at the certain point. Those water within that instrument you put, it can stagnate. It can don't make it any motion. But because of that water in the ocean, the Earth are rotating. That's why that motion is what is occur. We talk about that what? Tides. So that is all is an evidence that illustrates that, or evidence that prove the Earth are rotating. So let's jump to another part, which is what? Revolution of the Earth. Revolution of what? Of the Earth. So when we talk about the revolution of the Earth, is another types of the revolution. As I told you that we are having two main types. There is rotation and the revolution. When we talk about revolution, this is the movements of the Earth around what? Around the sun. So we have to understand that the motion of the Earth on its axis is rotation. But when the Earth are moving around the sun, an example from this diagram, this is the sun, but this is the what? Is the Earth. This is the Earth, the Earth, the Earth. So this Earth is moving around what? From I told you that the revolutions is taking place from a certain point to another point, as maybe from west to east. So this is moving in this direction. That is, remember that this is what? The sun is moving in that direction. That is called what? Revolution. So that is called revolution. The movement of the Earth around what? The sun. The Earth are moving around the sun. That is called as a revolution. But this revolution, you have to remember, for the previous period, I told you that we discussed that the Earth to complete a single revolution is using 365.5 or 365 and quarter days for a single revolution. So even though from here to revolve up to turn back to that point, almost it take almost one year. Or talk about this days, almost 365 and quarter days for a single revolution. So revolution causes aphelion. Okay, revolution causes aphelion and perihelion. Aphelion and perihelion. So what are that? Aphelion, we talk about it. Let me explain from this diagram. Aphelion, when the Earth are rotating, there is a point, the Earth. Okay, Let us look about the revolutions cause, aphelion, and what? Perihelion. As I told you that revolutions is the motions of that earth. The earth are moving around what? The sun. So at the time, there is a time when the earth is being near to the sun, and there is a time the earth, when I'm in motion to revolve around the sun, is being far from what? The sun. So perihelion is the point when the earth is very near, to the what? To the sun. And aphelion is the point when the earth are far, is more there is a far distance from the sun, points to the what? To the earth. So the distance, the farthest distance of the earth from the sun is aphelion, and almost be 152 million kilometers. But at a point when the earth is near to the sun is called perihelion, and this it takes place 147.3 million kilometers. So that is about what? Aphelion and perihelion. And aphelion, you have to understand that aphelion, this one is be on 4th of July, and perihelion is being 3rd of what? Of January. So you have to make the simple observation. So what could we observe at the point when there is perihelion around what? 3rd of January, and if there is what? Aphelion on 4th or 40th of July. You have to make you can make the simple observation. So what could you observe that when the aphelion take place? What can be happen when aphelion take place? What can be happen? So that is all about what this we call as a aphelion and the perihelion. Or you can maybe you can failure to make the definition of aphelion and the perihelion. As I told you that, I repeat that aphelion is the farthest position of the earth from the sun. And it is 152 million kilometers. And the definition of perihelion is the nearest position of the earth from what? From the sun, and almost be 147.3 million kilometers. So that is all about the revolution of the earth and the part of what? Aphelion and the perihelion. Let's jump to another part, that is effect of the earth revolution. As we noted there at the rotation. So let's here check what are the results, what are the bottleneck of what? Of the earth's revolution. So after the earth rotates, revolve around the sun. So what's next? First of all, we get season of the year. So when you talk about the season of the year, this means what? A season, you have to understand what is the meaning of the word what? Season. Season is the difference time within the year, the difference climate and the time within what? A year. So an example, we are having the difference times and the climate within the year. There is times where there is very hot, there is time where there is cold, there is times where there is moderate rainfall, there is times where there is high rainfall. So those all we call result season of the year. An example of the season here we can add. Example of that season, there is spring, and we are having 4 types of what? Of season. Here I can mention a few. Spring, there is autumn, and also there is what? Winter, and also there is what? We can say spring, autumn, winter, and others. So those all we call as a types of what? Of season. So example here, when we talk about the spring, we talk about the time when there is high rainfall and there is high temperature. So that is talk about what? Spring. So those I think we shall look at the parts which concern the only with what? Season. But among the effects of the earth's revolution is to get season of the year or difference climatic condition within the year. Example, I told you the periods where there is high rainfall and the periods where there is high temperature and so on. The second point is eclipse. What is eclipse? Eclipse, I told you that is the process whereby one object in the atmosphere be between two objects, and those two objects must, a single object from those two must produce light. So eclipse, how could be the effect of Earth revolution? You have to understand that Earth revolves around the sun, and also there is things we call as the moon. As I told you that moon are revolving around the Earth. So take an example here. Here there is moon, and this moon, I told you that it moving around around the Earth. Here there is the sun, here there is the Earth, and the Earth are moving around the sun, and the moon are moving around the Earth. And things to note is we need to understand about eclipse. How comes as an effect of Earth revolution? Okay, so as also have to understand eclipse, that is two: lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. So when the moon, its motion is at that point, and this is the Earth, and this is the sun. So the Earth is between the moon and the sun. The Earth is between the moon and the sun. So this all we call as a moon eclipse, or we call as a lunar eclipse. So the eclipse occur because of that Earth, remember, that are moving. So when it reach at this point, the moon are in the same direction from the sun, here we get the lunar eclipse. Then that Earth proceed to move, and when it reach this point, this is the Earth, this is the sun, and maybe this Earth, remember, that is being moved up to this point. So there is no Earth here, is from this point. So Earth, sun, and the moon. So the sun is between, this is moving, there is Earth here, there is the sun, there is Earth again. The Earth are moving in this direction. When to reach a point, you have to remember even the moon are in motion. So the moon move, maybe reach at this point, and this is the Earth, moon, and the sun. So the moon is between the Earth and the sun. So that is called as solar eclipse. So eclipse occur because of the movement of the Earth around the sun, but also the motion of the moon. So that is what you have to understand about the eclipse. As I told you, example, solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse, as you can say that the Earth is eclipse, but the lunar eclipse is called the moon eclipse. So that is all about. Then the third effect of the Earth revolution: difference in length of a day and night. Difference in the length of a day and night. So this means that there is a time, a day having long time, but night having short time. But the difference of this is being caused by Earth's rotation. So you can make the simply observation which is long between night and night. There is difference. Sometimes the day is being long, and sometimes night is being long. So that is an result of Earth's revolution. The last point is change of the midday sun in latitude. When we talk about midday, we talk about the position of the sun during a day. So this is quite different. There is a time the sun position is being straightly at the center, but other times you see is in east, other times you see in west. So that different position of the sun in latitude symbolizes that the Earth are revolving around around the sun. Okay, let's proceed to another part. Okay, so by looking at these changes of the midday sun in latitude, as I told you that the sun is being in the different position. During a day, we check out there is a sun at morning is being in east, at evening being in west, but in noon is being directly at the middle. So this is symbolizing that the Earth are rotating. So let's end here, but let me left you with an exercise, simplest questions, and the question which are mostly appearing in the exams. Example: mention difference between the revolution and the rotation. Simple. make the difference between revolution and rotation. And also, dash is the nearest position of the Earth from the Sun. Very simple, as I told you there. What are the parts which involve the points when the Earth are near to the Sun? Okay, the last question is, mention 3 effects of rotation. 3 effects of rotation. So that is the simplest questions. So let me end here. We shall meet to the next session. Thank you.
Purchase your tracks today.